And we've been actually testing that as a lead magnet. But now it occurs to me that could be a good little, $27 product. Help to mitigate the costs, have really
Yep.
nice value, and they can all create that like in an afternoon.
If you can
In a
help them
weekend.
create that, and now you have something that's you're not sending them down a massive rabbit hole, but you're keeping it simple.
Yeah.
That I actually think that's the best strategy.
Yeah, that's a great
And
idea.
that goes back to what I was saying about, and Craig had asked, like, wait a minute, I missed it. Why doesn't Josh like lead magnets? And again, I don't want to throw all this out.
Josh hates lead, dude. He has a lead magnet poster in his room, and he throws darts at it every day.
I shoot a BB gun.
No lead magnets here.
Just kidding.
Doing like a VSL rather than a sales letter, a short VSL that's kind of like, we call it a VSL in sheep's clothing because it's presented more as a case study. But when people are new, they don't have the case study. And so that's the issue, right? So what I've told people to do is either tell the story of an avatar, and kind of keep it generic, but be like, let me tell you a story about Jeff. Jeff was but you're not telling I worked with Jeff and I helped Jeff, but Jeff has the problems that is universal to your audience that need to be solved. You have a unique mechanism that is different than anybody else's that helped Jeff solve that problem. And, if you're then basically make that transition to, if you're interested in learning more about how we help people like Jeff, then you can, go here and fill out an application, see if we'd be a good fit for you. It's usually, 15 minutes long, maybe sometimes up to, maybe 30 minutes at the high end. But that's typically for people that have a lot of proof. And so I think a nice short one that goes, directly, you're not asking people to opt in to view it or anything like that. They click the ad, they view the video. You can always retarget the video landing page. And then there's usually, like, on the right side of the video, there's like a couple of criteria. Like, if you make this amount of revenue, if you've been around in business for over 2 years, if you serve more than 10 clients, whatever those criteria are, then we want to talk to you. Click the button below to request your application, or just click the button below to learn more, and it goes to an application.
What kind of campaigns would you be using? Would you be using like the registering, so you're promoting like a conversion campaign to register for that mini webinar, or are you?
Yeah.
Is it no registration?
I mean, in the ones that I'm doing, we actually took the registration out of the loop, and so we're not even getting people's email addresses if they don't apply. So, and again, there's so many ways to carve this thing, but we're looking at it as we're sending to a VSL page, not a webinar page, but we call it mini webinar because of what it delivers. But basically, anybody who lands on that page, views that and does not register, we retarget them. But we're basically doing it as a landing page optimization, getting them to the page. If there was, like, I love the idea. I've always loved the idea of somebody creating a ebook. And this goes back to, I think, the first, what Keith has been talking about for years now, but creating something you can sell for a low cost on the front end, and then have something on the back end as a value to that. I don't know if you were going to get into that, Keith, or not, but that's even more valuable to me because I can optimize for people that will actually, purchase, and then the application is the benefit. Do you want to hop on a strategy call with someone from my team to discuss what's discussed in the $7 ebook or $29 ebook or whatever? That's something we're not doing, but I like the idea of that.
Are you driving just cold traffic to that? You said you're retargeting them later if they don't do the application, but otherwise it's just cold traffic straight to the mini webinar?
Cold traffic straight to, because it is as direct of a problem solution message as we possibly can make it. And you tease to that. It's like, if you have this problem, we have this unique solution to it that is, in your case, maybe not proven, so you can't say that. We have this unique solution. And then you talk about the mechanism, like I'm trying to think of an example. You don't have to talk about your results. You can talk about the results of the mechanism, like, across.
Or you can use implied credibility, which is what I was going to mention, which is using maybe Lou Dallow, for example. If you're a coach, they could tell a story that you've told them and mention, and they could, or somebody else that they've learned from or they see. And so sometimes if you do it strategically, you can use implied credibility as a case study. You're just showing that, and then and especially if it's a recognized name. So Frank Kern did this, especially, or if it's somebody that maybe it's not somebody they recognize, but it's somebody else that they're learning from, like you. And then when they're telling a story like about a coach that they're learning from, and if they okay it or whatever, then it, from the viewer's point of view, it can really feel like there's a relationship there because they've probably had conversations with that person or you, or, and so it can be sometimes an instructor. That's what I encourage our students to do, get certified. If you don't have any clients, like let's use one of our case studies. Let's use, and I'd be happy to share whatever, and then, or do a video with you or something. And so this is one of the reasons when we certify our agency guys, I've always pushed so much on piggybacking off our authority and not as much on building your own funnels, because I know how hard it actually is. And that's why I've just seen so many people be able to just grow really fast if you have another way to grow organically off of somebody else's audience or something like that. But a lot of these guys aren't going to be able to. But I do like that in addition, but having both, because then if you have a funnel combined with that, it's, the sky's the limit. Or maybe if they have an organic podcast or something that's growing slowly over time, or YouTube. But those are all slower methods, right? And much harder to grow these days and stand out. So I think that I do like the implied credibility, implied case study thing of if you can do that. Back to your sort of tactical question around optimization, I think if you're going straight to the page, like Josh was talking about, you can, it just depends how much volume you're getting. You might optimize on landing page views. You might optimize on applications. You know what I mean? I would first want to do applications and see if we get any. I'd start there. And if we're not getting any, then I'd work my way back and do landing page views.
Yeah, that's the other thing is like potentially like to take like what we typically had done. It was like, okay, there is no application at first, really. It's just booking a call. We start to see how many people are booking a call. We try to be really good with the targeting and the messaging, so the right people are booking the call, but we're not putting like one more level of complication in front of that. You start getting some of those. You start seeing if they're good or bad, especially when you're brand new. You have more time than you have money, really. And so with that, then you start figuring out where the links in the chain are that are broken. Then if you want to, if you're getting too many Yahoos that are booking calls that are wasting your time, and now you have some data, you can start putting applications in front of it. It makes you look more professional. It filters your time better. But I would consider just booking the call. Here's my calendar. Let's talk for 30 minutes and see how we can help you. And then when Keith was talking, I thought of an example of that, using the credibility of the mechanism rather than any of your credibility, because you don't have that credibility yet. We had a client who was doing fitness coaching, and like one meal a day was the mechanism, but they didn't have really any case studies around them doing one meal a day with one of their clients because it was brand new. So we just used OMAD, 1 meal a day, as a credibility, and showed people talking about it in these magazines and these celebrity doctors talking about it and all this other stuff, so that the credibility was attached to the thing, not to the person. And then over time, the credibility transfers to the person and the mechanism, because they have the credibility with people they've engaged with the mechanism for. So
that's the way to do it. It's 100%. That's the way the pros do it as well. You'll see a lot of stuff like that, where you'll see a lot of that third-party validation through other published articles or YouTube videos or something like that, or just a picture of that person, and you talk about the results because you're on their list, because but that's a big one there. So I think when it comes to what Penny had said was like Josh kind of said similar, but she said, these are my people, the coaches and course creators. She said, even new coaches can get conversions to consult funnels with good storytelling in their copy, even without testimonials. They can tell their own story of transformation or a story from a friend they helped that could not be a client, just like we talked about, or somebody else, which I think is the better strategy, actually. Somebody completely different that has more credibility about the model. So she said they have to sell the call in the ad copy and show the value someone will get for their time. They still need to do the goodwill branding content, like he's talking about, and recency of engagement is a factor in the algorithm for sure. She said the best way I've seen this work is the story-based ad copy with or without video ads and a VSL or mini webinar on the landing page selling the unique mechanism, which we just talked about. Some named method that they use to help get clients transformation, like Joel Irway's mini webinar approach, is 10 to 15 minute video, which is essentially a quasi sales video. Now, Then she said, that said, if they can come up with a Tripwire, it can be faster. And so a Tripwire is a low priced product, right? That you can optimize on purchase and you use to generate buyer leads.
Yeah.
On the product thing, and I was thinking about this earlier too. It's tough because like Joel Irway talks about his mini webinar strategy, how if you're brand new, you should start out with that because you can get cash flow because you can sell a $5,000 program. So you don't need that many sales, which is true if you can sell and if you can book the calls. Those things are both much harder than people realize though. That's the problem. And that's why a lot of times, even with him, if you have another product, once he started converting on his $1,200 webinar funnel, the mini webinar went on the back end right away because it works way better on the back end for him. But he has he's got that product on the front end. If in a perfect world, I would say, yeah, have them sell a $49 to $99 product, but now you're getting into the whole info marketing business world. But one thing, if you have the right person, potentially a one-off product that also included that call as the bonus could be something that I would love to see. And you can get a lot more traction that way because now you have a product that's priced under $100 or under $50. You can optimize on purchase and they can start getting results right away. Maybe they're not like turning $1 into $2, but maybe they're turning $1 into $1 or $1 into 80 cents, but they're seeing results. They're getting momentum, they're getting customers, and then they're getting a few applications. And it's more work, but honestly, if they could create a product on the front end, even if it was a super simple product, I actually think that's the best approach for these guys realistically getting results.
That's a really good idea. Actually, in what we've been doing is we've been creating, I've showed them how to do a one-page course, right? So you have like the intro, the video at the bottom, and then you have 3 modules with 3 videos in each one all on one page. And we've been actually testing that as a lead magnet. But now it occurs to me that could be a good little, $27 product, help to mitigate the costs, have really nice value. And they can all create that like in an afternoon.
If you can help them create that, and now you have something that's, you're not sending them down a massive rabbit hole, but you're keeping it simple.
Yeah.
That I actually think that's the best strategy.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
That goes back to what I was saying about, and Craig had asked, like, wait a minute, I missed it. Why doesn't Josh like lead magnets? And again, I don't want to throw all this out.
Josh hates lead, dude. He has a lead magnet poster in his room and he throws darts at it every day.
I shoot a BB gun.
No lead magnets here.
Just kidding, Craig.
I think the algorithm has gotten so good that when you optimize for leads with a lead magnet, it's going to get you exactly what you asked for. People who like free stuff downloaded from the internet. Yeah. And so what I like way better, and again, this isn't my idea. I stole it, I think, from Keith or from someone else in the group, but to have that Tripwire, people come either buy, you optimize for purchases, so you're getting purchasers in the door. And purchasers, even if you're just trying to get an application funnel, the intent is way higher on purchasers. You get them through, now they have something of perceived value from you, even if it's $7, $14, $27, whatever that is. They've taken out their wallet and the psychology is there. They're your customer now. And then this is where I think it's really smart. And I know that Keith and Chris have talked about this in the past, and I think that's where I stole it from, is when people don't buy or don't take you up on the Tripwire offer, you retarget those people to a lead magnet. Yeah. And now you're building a list of purchasers versus a list of people who like to download free crap. Yeah. And so that's where the magic is, because those people probably also just weren't in a place where they could get their credit card out. They're in line at the bank, or they're on a bus or whatever it might be. And so I like that a lot. But I do think that if you have a little bit of budget and one good cornerstone testimonial / case study, and that's another thing. Like when I was brand new, I was willing to do stuff for free in return for a really good case study. And I think that's something that everybody should consider. Like, I will do this for free with the agreement that you are going to, when I get you these results, you're going to come on, you're going to record videos, you're going to write up reviews, all that stuff. And I think that should be part of the overall game plan. Plug that into a 15-minute case study video, have that running as well, and see what gets you the best results.
I like that. Yeah, great ideas, guys. That's really good. I think that's totally actionable. I'm going to give that a shot.